Oh boy, this one's going to be good. This
It's
one's
going to
going
be
to be
fantastic.
Really good. So everybody, welcome back to another episode of Coaching Caffeine and Comedy, and I'm your host, Haley Kobza.
And your co-host, Lena.
Lena the librarian.
Lena not Lena. What was Conroy last week? What was he saying? Something.
I don't know.
It's Lena.
But I will say, that was a good episode.
It was.
He'll probably want to come back because he thinks he needs to be a part of our...
Bit.
Yeah, part of our chicken. Like, he wants to be the wing.
Yes, he does. He wants to be a part of our
He
bucket
wants
of
to
chicken.
be a part of the bucket of the chicken.
Yes.
Which I'm still deciding. I'm like, for me, he's kind of the coleslaw right now because I don't even know if he's listened to his episode.
He's not even on the menu currently.
Yeah.
No.
But I will say he was really awesome that he brought us a drink.
He did.
And so did this person that we have in studio today.
That is the way to set the stage.
I know. And this fun caffeine, of course.
Yep.
What is this exactly? Could you just throw that out there?
This
Sorry,
is caramel frappe.
Oh, okay.
It's very nice.
Very nice.
It's quite delicious, yes.
Delicious. Anyways, yeah, so today we're going to listen to, I think he's famous. I'm not from McCook, but Josh Cherry.
Famous.
Yeah, grew up in a small town, went big.
Yep.
So that's what we get to listen to today. So sit back, relax, and what else, Lena?
Put in your earbuds.
Yep, and you don't have to turn it up as loud because we got it fixed.
We're working on it.
See, that's where it was like, I want a guitar. Welcome, Josh.
Hello.
Oh, this is so fun.
Yes, thanks for joining us today.
Yeah.
Excited to be here.
So, Josh, before we get started, because you actually listen to our podcast, that we always do a really fun warm-up. And here lately, we're trying to do different ones. So, like, you're probably not going to be prepped.
Nope.
But Lena said you'd be really good at this one.
Okay.
So, and then we're going to get into who we actually are talking to today. But
That's right.
First, we're going to do a little Nebraska trivia.
Oh, boy.
And we do keep score.
And we do, yes.
Yes.
And did you play baseball?
Up until like junior high.
Okay. Well, if you don't score at least 6 points, you will also be hitting off Rachel Conroy
Yes.
while she pitches.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay? Yeah. It's just, that's just part of the deal.
Yep.
Okay.
That's great. 6 points?
Yeah, 6 points.
Okay, I
You
want to
keep
make
track.
sure that's clear.
Okay. So I'm going to read a sentence and then you just got to fill in the Nebraska blank. Nebraska has more miles of blank than any other state. Oh, gosh, you're thinking hard already.
I am. More miles of blank than any other state.
Mm-hmm.
I think I know the answer.
Oh, yeah. I
I'm
forgot
just
you
saying.
didn't see these.
No, I didn't see these.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm going to rule out coastline. Okay. I'm getting warmer.
You're getting close.
Okay.
Yeah.
You're actually really close. Like, that's pretty hot.
Can I say like more miles of like cornfields?
Is that your answer?
Yes.
Phone a friend? No? Okay.
Go back to the water.
Go back to the water.
Oh.
More miles of...
Pivots.
Oh, that was a good guess.
Also a really good guess. But let's go back to the water.
We just got to give him the answer.
Yeah. Rivers.
What?
Yes.
I did not know. I was going to say
Oh my
interstate.
goodness. Come on. You know how many rivers are in Nebraska?
No,
there's
obviously not.
one for
Doesn't
every-
feel like any around here.
Not currently.
I don't know.
Due to the lack of rainfall.
Yeah.
We had friends come to McCook quite a few years ago, and it rained the night before they showed up, and I was like, "This is perfect. We're gonna go float down the Republican."
Oh, yes.
And
don't even know where that one
we
is.
went out and bought all these tubes and everything, and we literally drug ass for 4.5 hours.
Sandbars.
Oh, my gosh. That would
Like you would float 10 feet and then have to get up and walk or
Yeah.
push yourself, and I was so sunburnt. I will never do that again in my life.
Are you still friends?
They haven't been back.
Wouldn't go.
Yeah.
I grew up doing that. So that
Oh my
I don't know.
gosh.
I didn't even think of that.
Oh
Good one.
my
Okay.
goodness. Okay. This is great. The blank sandwich was invented by a man who lived in Omaha. Okay, maybe this is going to be one of those episodes where people learn things about Nebraska.
I think
Well-
it could be.
Okay. The blank sandwich.
I mean, would you consider a bierock a sandwich?
No.
Yes, but it's not the answer.
Okay.
That's not the answer.
Can
Do
I
you know
go-
the answer to this one, Lena?
You do?
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Atta
you're a
girl.
librarian.
Atta girl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lena, the librarian, knows all of these.
Man, a Reuben.
Oh,
Yes!
Yeah.
Yeah, hello.
I
We, okay.
played
all right.
dumb at first. Yeah,
You're right.
keep it interesting.
Woo, 1
Yeah,
point.
he didn't want to know right away.
This one's easy. The Kool-Aid capital is in what town in Nebraska?
Cambridge.
See, it is an argument. So not easy.
Do people say Hastings?
People fight this.
The answer is Hastings.
It is Hastings.
Yes.
See, I'm with you, Cherry.
so
I'm
confused.
with you.
Yeah.
It is a fight.
I've never heard Cambridge.
Yes.
That's where the Kool-Aid house is.
Yes.
What Kool-Aid house?
We're
big
going to
one in
drive by it
Cambridge.
later. Yes.
Well,
They even have a sign, I think. Doesn't Cambridge have a sign somewhere that says it? Something about
I don't know.
I don't know. I think because it's more local Cambridge, I want to give it there. Hastings just tried to steal the thunder.
Yeah. Get out here, Hastings.
Yeah.
Tigers.
Yes.
and I'll give you a half a point. Okay. Boys Town is the home of the world's largest blank ball.
Blank ball?
The world's largest blank ball.
Rubber band ball.
No, I'm going to give you a hint. These are actually going up in price. No? Okay.
Well, if
that
it's
was-
golf balls, I don't know. I always find mine in the weeds.
Stamp. Stamp ball.
What? I don't-
Like stamps?
Actual stamps.
Dude, how much is that ball worth?
yeah.
Yeah, right. I know.
They're going up again.
Yes, the forever stamps are going up.
Oh my
Yay.
gosh. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Gosh, Cherry.
That was a tough one.
Yeah. Glad you're an athlete. Anyways.
I tell you what, I practice my swing.
Yeah, definitely.
Outside with his voice.
I know.
Toss me one.
Pitch to
Toss me
daddy.
one.
You
Toss me
haven't
one.
hit one yet.
Oh,
Get the
Rachel.
tee.
Oh, Rachel. This is going to be fun.
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is great.
Ugh,
And we're
no.
gonna go live with that video, by the way.
Yes.
This Nebraska native bought stock at 11 years old and is now known as the Oracle of Omaha.
Warren Buffett.
Good job.
Ding, ding, ding,
There we
yes.
go. We're at 2.5 points.
Okay. I think
Okay. Omaha is the home of the. Ooh, what is this called? Oh, Omaha is home of one of the best and renowned what in the world, and what is it called? It has the best one of these, and some of the largest parts of it are in it. It's a
parts
place.
of it are in it. Oh,
Yeah.
like
you-
the zoo?
yes.
Henry Doorly
Good
Zoo.
job.
Yeah,
Good job.
good job.
Yeah.
Good.
That's
Yeah.
where I was going.
Uh-huh,
San Diego,
good. That was
come
kind of a
on.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
People say that. I'm like,
I've been to the San Diego Zoo. It's not
So
bad,
have
but
I, yeah.
Omaha's better.
Omaha's better.
honestly.
okay. What is the Nebraska state tree? Oh boy.
Man,
My grandma made me know
this is some fourth grade stuff.
It's true.
It really is. Y'all should have asked Conroy these. Yeah.
Oh man. All right, can you tell me, is it hardwood or softwood?
I don't know. The
Is it
difference.
deciduous? You know?
What?
Okay, well you're going down to points now.
Okay. It has the name in it of things that we don't actually grow in Nebraska.
Oh.
Things we don't actually grow as in crops?
Yeah. So we don't grow this
Yes.
crop, but the tree has that word in it. Clothes are made out of it.
Oh, cottonwood?
Yeah.
Oh, good job.
Good job.
Well, I was going
Good
to
job.
guess that because we have so many, but
Oh,
I
yeah.
didn't feel right there.
The Irish capital of Nebraska is in.
Boy,
I was born
some
here.
days I'd
Oh,
say
I know this
Fun
one.
fact.
it's at Sarge's, but
They have the biggest St. They used to have the biggest St.
They
Patty's
still
Day.
do.
They do? Okay.
We need to go.
Yes.
Let's go.
I'm going.
See, I've never been, and that's
Okay.
where my family's from.
Yeah.
so I'm going to go out on a limb here.
Okay.
Does it start with Saint?
No.
Okay.
But it does start with the apostrophe.
Yeah. Oh.
My goodness.
Don't give him any points.
O'Neill?
Yes.
Oh,
Good
yes.
job. Okay,
Awesome.
we're at 3.5 points with only one question left.
3.5 points. Check your math.
Oh no, 4, 5.
What?
Wow.
Five.
You are at 5.5.
Yeah. This is
Oh,
big.
he's gonna miss
This one's gonna be a tough one. What famous architect built a house here? in
Frank
McCook?
Lloyd Wright.
Oh, God. That was
job.
like a
That is-
gimme.
That is a
know.
McCook question right there.
Okay, good
was
job.
all
Good
right.
job, Josh. Okay, I'm going to start off from the very get-go here with Josh Cherry. One time I'm just a go-getter at the college. I had this like athletic speaker series, and you were my first person that came and spoke. I still remember that like it was yesterday. You did phenomenal.
I felt like I overly prepared for that because I showed up dressed nice.
Oh, he did.
I
Yeah,
had to
he was, like-
find my nice clothes.
He showed
Unlike
up.
today.
It was
Yeah.
not
I mean, I wore my clean ball cap.
Yeah, and it was the best speech ever. And he told all the athletes like your up and down stories of football, and just like the hardships and like things aren't given to you. Like Josh was. I'm just gonna let you tell it. Can you just tell us your story?
Where do you want me to begin? It was
Gosh,
a cold
I don't
winter
know.
night.
Yes.
Like, what do you want me to describe here?
The listeners aren't going to know anything about you. So tell us about like where you grew up, what sports you played in
Okay.
growing up.
Yeah.
So I was born in Kearney because my parents lived in Mason City, Nebraska,
Oh, fun.
Oh.
town of 150 people, and we moved from there to McCook when I was really little, and grew up going to school here. Played mainly basketball, football, and track, and was lucky enough to go further into college, kicking for K-State, and went there. And
I'm sorry. Could you take that back because people are gonna think kicking. What sport?
football. Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, football.
We have a lot of people.
Yes.
The
for
Australians don't know what
nationwide.
that is.
Yes, exactly.
For any Nebraska fans that don't know where K-State is, just look where Adrian Martinez is now, and you guys will know. Sorry, we took that.
And moving on.
And we're going. So
It's split whether or not they miss him or not.
So you were a talented kicker in football, and you went to
K-State, played there 4 years. I did mainly field goals, PATs, kickoffs. But then my senior year, I actually got on like other special teams. I was on some punt team as gunner, and then I was actually on kickoff a majority of my senior year, not kicking. I was just one of the guys that ran down the field. And I really enjoyed that. And I asked if I could do that, and they actually gave me a shot, and that was just like the most exhilarating thing I've ever done. For anybody that enjoys football, like how it all started was Sean Snyder, who's Bill Snyder's son. I had a bet with him before we played Missouri, and I was like, put me in on kickoff as wedge buster, which is a guy right in the middle, and like your job is to basically run down, and like when the guy catches the ball and starts running it, there's always a few guys in front of him blocking. My job was just to like try and just get them out of the way, like hit them as hard as I can. And so I had a bet with Sean Snyder. I was like, I bet you I can knock myself out by doing that. And he's like, I'll bet you a steak dinner.
So isn't that what people try not to do?
Well, but it was just,
Right.
it's so much fun. You know, I'm not saying I was the smartest college kid
Okay.
or human being in general, but that's what I want to do. And like, I just wanted to do something else, you know, like growing up here in McCook and playing, I did, I was quarterback, safety, kicker, punter, played other sports. When I got to college, as much as I liked doing that, I just really missed doing everything else. You kind of get this. It was almost like I wanted to prove myself to somebody, to
That
a
you could
lot
do
of people.
more than just-
yes,
right.
because I miss being playing other positions. But I mean, at that point, I was friends with pretty much everybody on the team. You're all one big family. But I just wanted to I don't know, try something different and kind of try and prove myself that I even though it was just a little role, it was something else. And so so I basically did that the rest of my senior year, and it was great. Loved going to K-State. I saw so many awesome things with my time there. Places I would have never seen. Playing against all these other players you've seen go in the NFL. My roommate was in the NFL. Obviously we had other guys on the team go to the NFL, but just seeing another side of things other than what the TV doesn't show. And what's weird now though is like I hate going to games now. Like I just don't like sitting in the stands, doing all that, because I miss being on the sidelines, and I'd much rather sit and watch on the TV. It's way, in my opinion, way better view.
So did you ever knock anybody, or did you knock yourself out?
I didn't, but I did knock myself silly, and so I had to come in for a concussion protocol the next day because they ran through and I didn't pass a bunch of tests, and so they're like, all right, you got to come back tomorrow morning, and we'll do some more tests on you and stuff. I'm like, all right. And I get a call the next day, and they're like, "Where are you at?" I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about." They're like, "You're supposed to be here." I had no recollection of
Oh my
it.
gosh.
Oh,
So
no.
it was, and so they told me like, "Well, you came in, did all these tests last night. You had to come back today." I'm like, news to me. You know, I mean, everything.
Yikes.
I don't know. Maybe it knocked me right though. You know, I don't know.
Knowing you
that's
could
why-
be a possibility.
Yeah, and that's how we knew it was the cottonwood. Mhm.
Exactly.
Back to that. Oh. And when you were at Kansas State, you also met the love of your life, right?
I did.
She's
Literally outkicked my coverage there.
I'm not saying. She is gorgeous. Like, I have a girl crush on your wife. She's beautiful.
I really lucked out. I chased her for like 6 to 8 months.
Oh my gosh, was she like sprinting away like, oh,
Well, he was
gosh,
just
this
running
guy.
in circles,
Oh,
though, due
yeah.
to the head trauma.
So
he wasn't getting very
Chasing
far.
his tail.
It was like
Am I
50 first
chasing my
dates. I
tail?
couldn't remember. I met her the day before.
She's like, I already told you no.
Yeah.
We've been down
Wait,
this
yeah.
road.
No, we were in a class together, a class of like 20 people, and I never knew because she sat in the back, and I always had a class right next door before that class. So I always had to sit at the front because they would check our classes, and if we weren't in the front, you know, you had to do all this running and stuff.
Good coach.
And so I'd always sit at the front, and I would just, you know, when class is over, I'm always like the last one to like fold my stuff up, and I had lunch right afterwards, so I had nothing to get to. And so she'd always dart right out. She'd always be like one of the last ones in, dart right out. And it was like 2 weeks left in class for the semester, and we went outside to do like an activity. And I saw her, and I was like, wow. And she was
I said the same thing.
she was wearing a Tridelt hoodie. And so I knew this girl at Tridelt. I called her and I was like, who is this girl with curly blonde hair and beautiful eyes? She goes, oh, that's Kristen. You know, she's got a boyfriend, but I hear it's rocky. I'm like, well, make it rockier, you know?
Stand-up
so-
thing to do.
Yeah, what a thing.
So finally, like the last day of class, and she makes fun of me for this, but I don't know what I was supposed to do. I was panic mode. I didn't know if I'd ever see her again. I went up and I gave her my number, and I was like, hey, I know you got a boyfriend, but if this ever doesn't work out.
You told her that?
Yeah.
So then instantly she was like, stalker.
Yeah, kind of, probably.
A little bit.
You know.
Okay.
Well,
Delete.
she had heard. She felt sorry for the guy with the head stuff. You know,
Yeah.
she's like, I better be nice.
Is that
you
guy
know?
slobbering at the front of class?
Yeah.
He's always the last one to leave.
Yeah.
Probably doesn't
Doesn't know where he
he's
is.
going. Yeah.
But I gave her my number. I was like, you know, if things don't work out, I'd like to go on a date with you. And she makes fun of me for that. She's like, who gives out their number and stuff like that? I was like, I don't know. I thought it was right.
Your husband?
Yeah.
I'm from McCook.
The guy you married?
Yeah.
But so then like 6 or 8 months went on, and I'd heard nothing from her. And I was out fishing one day, and she texted me, and she's like, hey, I don't know if you remember me, but, you know, don't know where you are, but want to get together for a date. That'd be sweet. So then we set up like 4 dates, and she canceled me every time. I was like, all right, screw this girl. Like, who?
Shady.
High class? What are you? But anyway, she, I guess the rest is history. We pretty much been together ever since. When I moved back here from college, she went to nursing school in Kansas City, and the distance thing was rough there for a while. So we did split for a while, but then eventually just, you know, drew back to each other. And moving a Kansas City girl to McCook, Nebraska, that was an eye-opener, but really shows you how good Amazon is at getting packages to your door. I say it's not good when the FedEx guy backs down our driveway. Like, doesn't even pull in. He backs down.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah, that's
Like,
scary.
That's
I'm with
Did you always know you wanted to move back to McCook? Like, was that always the end game, or
No.
when did that come along?
So where else I lucked out was her family's just fantastic. And her dad was an orthopedic surgeon in Kansas City, recently retired in December. And
Oh, smart family.
yeah,
Wow.
way smarter than me again. And but anyways, so I went to college to be a pharmacist. That was my initial thought. And then I went and shouted at pharmacist one day. I was like, this is just too quiet for me. I can't do this. And so at that time, I was kind of, when I switched my majors, I ended up majoring in biology, life sciences, and minoring in Spanish, which don't ask me to speak that. That's long gone. But her dad was like, hey, you know, you're very personable. You should look at getting into cells. And what do you think about like orthopedic cells? He goes, I know some people that would, do some interviews and stuff. And I was like, yeah, that'd be great. So I actually went and watched him do like 19 surgeries or something like that, or quite a few. I don't know if it was 19, but quite a few. And it was fascinating. It really was. Like, now you see why people are so sore after like hip surgeries or knee surgery. Like, it is rough.
Physical.
Yes. And so I was doing all these interviews and stuff like that, and I kind of thought that's where everything was going to lead. But during that time, I was kind of living back home, and I'd go back to Kansas City like sometimes twice a week to do an interview or go watch surgeries. And I got the opportunity to get in the seed business. And at that point I was kind of like, I'm really starting to enjoy it back here. I don't like traffic. I kind of want my room out here, And so I ended up taking the seed job, and I'm really happy I did, because I'm still in the seed business with a different company now. But I really enjoy it because it is fun I enjoy working with farmers. I enjoy, I'm outdoors. I'm not sitting behind a desk all the time, which is it's fine, but it's just not for me to sit inside all day, every day, and I thoroughly enjoy the people I work with and the customers I deal with. So I think I made the right choice for me.
What do you think that you took away from being a collegiate athlete into what you do today?
Man, kind of like what you said earlier, like, you're going to go through really rough times. Mm-hmm. And I mean, through a lot of aspects in life. And number one, like positivity. I mean, I know that's cliche to say, but positivity is huge, but then, like, when times do get tough, like, how to just put your head down and deal with it, and eventually things will get better. You can't just sit there and expect things to get better. Nothing's ever going to be handed to you. You gotta really earn it, I guess. And, I think it taught me a lot of work ethic, big time. I mean, I think sometimes my wife she's like, you need to slow down, because I'm constantly like, I'm up early and I'm always working on something. I'm rarely sitting, I'm always trying to do something. And, I would work late at nights if I have things to get done. And, it's got its good sides and bad sides. I've had to really learn to tone that back now that I have kids. I would work until 10 o'clock at night if I could. But now that I got kids, obviously you want to go home and spend time with them and have fun with those guys. But, I just think that it really prepped me for a ton of things, that you've got to basically get into your system as an adult. It was just easier for me to transition to.
Do you think that's part also of like the entrepreneurial spirit, is just being like always on the go or coming up with new ideas? I mean, besides the seed business, tell us a little bit about like the other avenues you have going on, the other businesses.
So, I mean, obviously the seed is my main, that comes first with everything. But we started the car wash in town, B Street Auto Spa. And luckily, I have my dad here in town, and he kind of runs the show when it comes to that. We hire, high school kids to work down there, which is great. It's always fun to work with these high school kids. And people around McCook are really, really great when they come through the car wash, because, we do the car wash a little bit differently than everybody else. We're in an ag-based community where vehicles are just getting way more dirty than they are like in Kansas City or Omaha. And so a simple car wash without touching is just not going to get the mud off typically, or the bugs. So we decided, hey, we need to have somebody here scrubbing the whole time. So that's why we hired, these high school kids to come and do that. And people around McCook are very good about tipping those guys. And, their efforts are really rewarded at the end of the day when they count their tips. And they're very appreciative of it. So, we got into the car wash side of things. That was way harder than I thought it was going to be. But then, we got into the snow cone game because we had extra room in our building down there, and we had like 3,000 square feet of unused space yet, and we kind of put up for rent for a while. I'm like, I don't know. I think we can find something to put in here that will work. We've got this area. Why do we want to get rid of it? We can figure something out here. So we did snow cones.
What made you think of snow cones?
Kristen's uncle has done snow cones in Pittsburgh, Kansas for over 30 years.
Oh, wow. Oh, okay.
He does it by himself all day, every day from like March until October.
What?
Wow.
Like yeah, he is
the man, the snow cone man.
Like, he is the man.
Oh my
Yeah.
gosh.
He is
Wow.
very, very logistically good at what he does.
Yeah.
And so we just thought, hey, that's worth a shot. And that's been a lot of fun because then, met a lot of great girls from the area that come down and work, and they're fun to be around, and we keep them on their toes. We're always pulling pranks on them and scaring them and stuff like that. But they're just, my kids love going down there, and they're so great to my kids. So that's fun being. And actually, as of today, we're not selling it yet. Probably not till next week, but we got our ice cream machine in today.
Oh.
And so now we're getting into
fun.
a whole nother avenue, which is something I'm excited for because ice
That's
cream is my
awesome.
kryptonite.
So is that going to be in with the snow cone area too?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
We'll have 24 flavors of soft serve ice cream and
wow.
shakes.
Oh my
That's what I'm
gosh.
talking about.
Yeah, we've literally been waiting like probably at this point around 15 months to get our machine.
Wow.
Oh,
So it has
my
been
goodness.
a long time waiting.
And you still have quite a bit of building left, right?
Well, not. So now we got something else going in.
Oh.
Can we hear
It's-
about
Is
it?
this a surprise?
Or is it a
Yeah,
secret?
because we're going to start releasing. I mean, started telling some people, but
I mean, you know
it's
what?
going to be a fun business.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's called Cherry Pickers. And I know.
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
my mind is racing.
Just
No.
so full of ourselves here to name our business. But no, what it is,
I
so
think it's hilarious. I like it.
I don't know if you've ever been to the place in Lincoln. It's called Wholesale Logistics.
No, but
No.
I'll put that down on my
Okay.
list of
Yeah.
places
So-
to go.
Jeremy Young actually told me about him and his sister have been there, and he was describing it to me one night at like our family church meeting that we get together once a month. And he was telling me about this. He's like, man, you walk in there and there are just bins, big bins of stuff everywhere. And it's like $8 one day. And then every day it drops in price.
Okay.
And so I was like, I remember hearing about something like this. And so it hit me. It was one of the guys that came up and installed one of our car washes. He does this kind of on the side, like on eBay and Facebook Marketplace. So I went down and I met with this company in Lincoln. And I said, we want to do this. And so we have sat down and they gave me the ins and the outs and how to do this. And so basically we've been for the last few months redoing our building down there, and we're hoping the
Awesome.
next 3 weeks to a month it'll be open, but it'll be stuff. It's hard to explain. Like people say, well, what is it? Just broken stuff and that people send back. And no, it's stuff like it's mainly right now going to be Amazon, Target, and Ace.
It's like an outlet.
It's kind of like an outlet. So
That's
like
like
it's how I explain it is it's stuff that could be like there could be stuff that had like a damaged box on a pallet. So
Right.
these companies will turn it away just because of one box was damaged. But then instead of sending it back to the actual company, they just send it off to these contractors, they call them, which then in return.
Oh, amazing.
So that's
that's
kind of how we get our
awesome.
product.
Yeah.
But it's like, let's just say let me take it for example, a leaf blower. Let's say a company that is selling a leaf blower, they come out with a new box design. Well, they can't sell the old box design anymore. Same leaf blower, but
Interesting.
just different box style. So we're getting, this stuff, we're hopefully getting our first truckload in here soon. And, but our plans as of right now, we'll have to work out a lot, but like these great big bins will be starting at $8 all the way down to $1 at the end of the week.
Cool. That's
Wow,
awesome.
that is awesome.
So it'll be
Awesome.
fun. It's just, my dad will eventually, he's going to take that over. And the car wash, we got plans for somebody else to be hired for that. So
I think a great thing, just like on that, like him talking about that in McCook, we have a lot of younger people that are trying to build our community, which is a huge
Oh,
plus.
yeah.
Yeah. There's a lot of, like the Jimmy John's contractor people.
Right.
That's like a young lad as
Yeah.
well, about your age.
yeah.
Nick Nothnagel, lots of people that are just trying to grow our community because you want to be back here.
Yeah. And that's exciting. I would try to tell my girls, like, the things you need to appreciate about these small businesses is they're like from the ground up.
Right.
Like these people are coming back wanting to make McCook a better place for everybody. And they come up with these new and exciting things. And as a boss, if you think of yourself that way, which obviously you are, what is something you feel is one of the greatest gifts you can give like your employees, like whether it's wisdom or, being flexible, like what do you try and share?
Yeah. Flexibility is, key. That just comes with like communication, just saying, hey, I think the biggest thing I mean, not only is it like, are you giving credit where credit's due? When they're doing a great job, I always try to let them know.
Right.
You know, maybe flip them a little extra money here and there, saying, you know, great job, keep it up. But when they do mess up, just being level-headed about it. You know, like, I think it was last summer, we were doing a snow cone event, and somebody came up and paid with a fake $100 bill. And that's what that's what will happen is somebody will pay with a fake 100 and buy something really cheap and get all this money back. And, you know, they were swamped, and I came to check in on the trailer because I was out doing some other things, came back, looked at the 100, and it was fake. And, I mean, you can easily see how it's, you know, you don't catch it, especially if you're swamped. And the girls felt horrible. And I said, you know what, this is my fault because I did not even train you to look for this stuff. I should have had a pin in here that you can check it. I didn't even think of it. So it's my fault, you know, and I think where, you know, it's not like it's a snow cone's a Fortune 500 business where your $100 is no big deal. You know, it's a lot of time and effort going into one day of a snow cone event. But it happens, you know, and as long as they know, like, I want them to feel like they're working for somebody they want to work for. I don't want them to be like, oh man, boss is around. That's why we're always pranking on them and stuff like that. We want it to be fun. You know, it should be fun. It's a majority of high school kids that work for us.
And in that way, they want to work as they continue on.
Well, and they want to be dependable.
Exactly.
Like, I feel like if an employee respects you as an owner or a boss, like, they're more willing to show up for their shift or stay late if they need to, be dependable. And that says a lot.
Yeah. You just try to train them. I mean, they're not going to be here forever working for us. They're going to hopefully, you know, go on and whatever they choose to go on. And I just try to kind of teach them in the best way possible. Like, you know, do the best that you can working down here. You know, I always try to, like, make it an emphasis. Like, I don't say this because it's our business and, you know, we benefit from it. But, like, I always tell them, like, you know, if there's nothing else to do, if you're all cut up, like, look for little things to do around, like sweep the floor, do something like that. You know, try to stay busy because it passes the time, number one, if it is slow. But number two, like, that's a great habit to build for the future, that, you know, whatever job you're going to have next.
Exactly.
So besides being a boss, you're also a dad, right? 2 little boys. Let's tell me age, names.
Bram is 4, and Bowden is 2, going to be 3 pretty soon.
Oh my goodness.
And they are wild boys. Love mud.
I love seeing your wife's, like, stories and stuff. They are.
I think our neighbor, because we live 10 miles out in the country, but we have, you know, our neighbors drive by all the time, and they probably wonder if our kids even have clothes, because our kids, like, they get home, like, they just strip off and they're in the mud playing.
That is country life.
Yeah.
100%.
Yeah, for sure.
Bugs and mud.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Besides, I don't even know where I was going with this. Going back to you playing, what coach was the most that, like, affected you, like, to be the person that you are today?
I don't think that there's one certain coach, because there's different aspects where they affected me. You know, Coach Gross here in town, I mean, I got to give a lot of everything that happened to him, because he's the one that made me go and learn how to kick. You know, I was going to be a freshman in high school, and he said, hey, we need a kicker in high school coming up, because Trent Lyons, who was above me, you know, would eventually be graduating. He goes, we need that next person ready to step in. And so why he chose me, I don't know, because, I mean, that was horrible. I'd, like, when I first started kicking, it's not like there was no natural ability whatsoever to kick there. I mean, I'm sure he kind of looked at me like, oh, shit.
Let's test this one out.
Sure we don't have a lineman that can kick? It was bad, but he wanted me to, so I started going down to Wyland Field at night, learning from Trent, and he started teaching me a bunch of stuff, but then Coach had me go to K-State and start going to their kicking camps. Well, then that started a domino effect where I started getting attention from K-State, and then he spent countless hours. I think he sent out 119 DVDs. I think that was every Division I college.
Isn't that crazy?
That
DVDs,
year.
how it is now.
Yeah.
And now it's like there's
Yeah.
platforms on a phone.
Yeah,
and,
he had to cut and paste and do all this and send out
So much
DVDs of
time.
my highlight film to colleges.
Right.
So I owe so much to him. But then, you know, Sean Snyder, who is Bill Snyder's son, that was kind of my main coach at K-State. He dealt with all the specialists every day. And learned a ton from him, you know, whether it was football or just other things. You know, he took a lot, which I could also say Bill Snyder, because you learn a lot from somebody just by watching them and how they handle themselves. And just like the guy you see in the media when it comes to Bill Snyder, this cool, calm, collected guy, it's the same guy he was at practice. I think I saw him yell once, you know, and I think I would have rather had him yell at me than some of the other things he did. Like I'd miss a kick and he'd come up and be like, "You've made that kick 1,000 times in practice, haven't you?" "Yeah, coach, I have." "Well, why did you just decide to miss that one?" It's like, oh, so guilty.
Well, funny.
And he'd just be like, but, you know, when I was going through a low point in my career, we were flying back to Kansas from playing out at UCLA, you know, and like, I was just like, what is wrong? Like, things are going so bad right now. I couldn't, like, nothing was going right. And I was like, I'm going to lose my job. I just know it. And he called me to the front of the plane to sit with him. And he just gave me this little pep talk. And it's just like, right after that, things took off. Like, so it's just like every one of these coaches, and I could go on about so many coaches, you know, but every one of these coaches have just, for some reason, had some little niche or role, some small thing they did other than just X's and O's or technique that I felt like was very impactful to my life and very thankful for it.
I think one thing, so like, you know, you talk about like I asked you, of course, like what coaches made an impact on you, but also you make an impact on our community. I'm not from McCook. And so like, if you ask anybody like, hey, like, is there any like Division I athletes? I'm not, all college athletes are great. It doesn't matter what level you go in. Like, that is awesome. It's a very rare percentage. But the fact that you have your Josh Cherries, and it's like, they came from McCook, Nebraska, and they put forth a lot of effort outside of your practice and stuff. Like, you went to camps and you got to play Division I football. And like I said, no matter what level it is, it's awesome. And the fact that your name, and there's so many people in McCook, which is just great. I like that, because when we started doing this, I asked, I'm like, who do we need to interview? Like, your name came up, I think, and there's some of these people I don't even know, like Sugaroo. Gosh, God.
Molly.
Yeah. And I think I have like a list, and it was like all these people. Then there's Brandon Crick. He's like some famous golfer, which he's also a phenomenal volleyball player.
I'll be with him in about an hour.
No, he's here?
He's in town, yeah.
Oh my gosh. Well, while you're with him.
I will.
Yes, put
Okay.
a plug. Good
Yes,
job.
big plug.
There we go.
Because on your recent podcast, I've heard like, who's somebody you think should come on? I was going to, if you asked me that today, I was going to say him, because
we can still ask it.
We could still ask it.
we've been like best friends since high school, you know, and
I think that's how I actually met Brandon, was from you.
Because he
We
probably
played
played
volleyball
volleyball
at
with
Sand.
us
Yeah.
together.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's been so fun just to watch him and everything that he's gone through with his golfing career.
So
And
crazy.
the people he has met and the celebrities, it's just like, you kind of fanboy over it, because you're like,
Right.
oh man, you know, I got to go to Larry the Cable Guy's house with him one time. And I was like, oh man, I was so nervous. I was like,
Right.
should I?
What, you went to Larry the Cable?
Yeah.
Please.
With Brandon.
Talk about it.
So when Brandon plays, every year he plays in a tournament in Omaha, and it's actually coming up here in August. And I love going to this and watching him. It's just so fun. And so one night we went, because Larry the Cable Guy lives not far outside of Lincoln. And he comes up to me after his round one day, and he's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, nothing. He goes, well, you want to go with me to Larry the Cable Guy's house? Dan Whitney is his actual name. I was like, yeah.
Wait, what?
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. His name is Dan Whitney.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I thought it was Larry and
I assumed
Cable
same.
Guy for his last name, but
All show.
okay.
But we
know.
went there, and I was so nervous. I was like, Brandon's like on his way to pick me up. I'm like, should I go buy some beer and everything? He's like,
Should
no.
I wear what I'm wearing now?
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
All right. If you guys have me on again, I'm showing up in a tuxedo,
I would hope so.
Yes.
Regardless how warm it is
yeah.
in here.
jeans and a
God.
t-shirt.
I mean,
Yeah.
we dressed up.
Yeah, look at this.
Well, I'm sorry, I didn't wear my sundress today.
You don't want to wear a sundress in here. You want something to soak up all the sweat.
But yeah, we went to his house, and it was just awesome. I mean, I got to see a side of things, you know, people never get to see probably.
Was he like funny or?
Yeah, you could tell he was trying out some new material. He doesn't talk in his accent. He just talks like this, normal.
Oh.
And yeah, that caught me by surprise.
Yeah.
And we sat in his movie theater and watched the Braves
Wait,
game.
so did you call him Dan or Larry?
I don't know.
You
He didn't
Did
say
it?
anything. He just muttered.
Yeah.
Just,
Well, I went in there with one goal. I was like, don't be the butt of his joke.
Oh gosh.
His next primetime,
Yeah.
Netflix special.
This
or
one
whatever.
time,
Yeah.
Brandon Crick brought his
Brought some honky from out west.
still completely knocked crazy from his football career. Didn't know where he was. Kept calling me Dan.
I was just going to say, That's so awesome.
No, it was but stories like that with Brandon,
Right.
And other celebrities that he's met, and it's just also the places he's played, and it's fun to tune in every week during the summer. I got this little PGA Tour app on my phone, and
he's on it.
yeah, he's on the Corn Ferry, which is step below the PGA. So, but he has made like the U.S. Open before, and
Right.
just to make it to something like that is awesome.
That's crazy.
And
Did you
it's
say
just-
Corn Fairy, though? I need to go back to that.
Corn Ferry, KORN,
Oh, okay.
like the band Corn.
Oh, okay. I just thought, like,
I don't know
weird.
anything.
I don't either.
I literally just texted a friend of mine. I was like, "Do you play golf?" And she's like, "Nah, no." I was like,
Yeah.
I drink, but I'd like to learn how to golf
Yeah,
a little bit better."
golf is so fun.
Yeah,
If you're semi-talented and capable. Otherwise, it's a nightmare.
I'll golf if it's a scramble. Is that like
Oh,
when you
those
like
are
go
way more fun.
when you
yeah.
like go and just whoever has the better ball?
Yeah.
I'll do
I'll
that.
golf if I'm used as the handicap. And they need my low-level expertise to, right? Isn't that a thing?
I don't.
That's a thing.
No,
Yeah, right?
I don't.
Is that not a thing in golf? You need
Your
some,
expertise?
my lack of expertise, like my inability. Isn't that like? Don't you need a handicap person on your team that's like terrible when you're playing in a right?
No.
In a scramble?
Yeah.
Well, like
No.
the scramble, like yeah, because it's like four of us
No,
are on
not
a
the scramble, because that's when you use anybody's ball.
right. That's
like
what
if you
want.
go out like on league night.
Your handicap is like what you shoot on a regular basis. And then so if you're playing somebody way better than you,
Yeah.
they basically give you a handicap, which you get certain strokes on holes to help even out the playing
Oh,
field.
just
So
her
confused.
individually.
Yes. Like if it's a one-on-one
Right.
match.
When
So
I
Okay,
look
I'm
at those
so
numbers,
confused.
like on the little board or whatever, I'm like, ooh, they made that in 3 shots or 30. I don't, whatever. Yeah, I'll get there.
Oh, and it's hot.
But
I'll
if
do,
you're
I'll do,
drinking,
I'll do
it's
Curtis
okay, yeah.
anytime. Curtis is
Oh,
my
Curtis
kinda-
is great.
It is great.
Besides,
Flat.
oh, right now I think the mosquitoes and the
I bet they are
critters,
terrible.
ugh,
Anyway,
so
Yeah.
humid. Wow.
it's not about us.
Well, so when we were trying to think of a fun warm up game for you, I was like, ooh, let's do some Kansas State trivia. But I looked
Oh,
up
yeah.
KU trivia. I was like, this is not purple.
Man,
And I was so confused. I was like, isn't I know he
the
was
chicken hawks. We don't say that. We don't talk about them. They're like
you know what? Conroy it was really negative on Kansas.
Oh gosh, he was like,
super negative.
you know what's wrong with people or Kansas? Kansans.
Yeah. And now this.
I
We're gonna get hate mail.
I know. And I'm like, wait, if
Yeah.
you just think of that, like his wife, Josh's wife, is from
Oh,
Kansas.
Yes.
yeah. She's even on the Kansas side of Kansas City. So
Yeah.
pure blood.
Yeah. She's stunning. I'll
And
probably
her
throw
dad is a
photo out
KU
there.
fan. So there's some trash talk
But
there.
you guys like made it.
Her brother went to TCU. Her mom went to Oklahoma State. Her dad went to KU Med. And then her and I went to K-State. And then her sister went to Northwest Missouri State. So try
Like
getting
TCU,
that
the
remote
Frogs,
on a
right?
Saturday during football season.
Oh, I bet
Oh,
that's
yeah.
fun.
Mhm.
That's fun.
Yeah. So
Oh.
it's split house many directions.
I bet. Gosh, what else can we talk to Josh about?
I want to understand the mental aspect of the game.
Yeah.
Because like I feel like being a kicker,
What about the mental aspect of kicking?
yes, would just be
Like,
atrocious.
Yeah, like that's a good
That
question.
stress,
Like-
like I can't even. I mean, it would be just so
Right.
reflective.
Oh,
What was your inner voice saying to you when when
God,
you were
please
kicking?
make this.
Oh,
Oh, stop! Was it?
There are times like when you get out there, you're like, my goodness, those field goal posts look a lot tinier when there are 60,000 people in the stadium staring
Don't-
at you, and you're on
Right.
television. And I mean, I never got so nervous where it was like a huge detriment, because again, like you had to like teach yourself, like be positive, like know it's
Right.
going in. Even when times were tough and you had bad habits of kicking, and it's like golf. It's like golf
Mm-hmm.
when something's wrong in golf, like you usually don't hit the ball very well. Same with
Mhm.
kicking, and but like, yeah, you just had to. I don't know, like the mindset of it was, you get one chance at this. It's not like a quarterback where it's like, okay, had a bad throw, you get line up the next play and do it again.
Yeah.
I mean, when
and
you make it, it's great. When you miss it, ugh.
And when you kick, like, gosh, I'm horrible at football.
I don't know
don't you do like
either.
a little dance and then you go back and then you kick it? Like
A
you
little
do like
dance.
like you like
a
step-
triple axle on my steps back and
I'm
like you step back and then you side
3
shuffle
toe
over.
touches and I'm ready to go.
Yeah, isn't there like some little like
You go back 3 steps and over 2 typically
right?
before you,
Wait,
So
over
you go back 3, over 2.
or why not? Do some people go over the other way if they're
Well, if they're left-footed, they do.
right?
Yeah, if they go the other direction.
So like when you were doing that, what were you saying?
Just kind of the same thing every time. Like,
Not
you're lining
left,
up,
right,
you
left.
make sure everything's lined up. I mean, there's so many things like it's kicking lingo, but you pick a high target, you get back, you get in your stance, get ready. You're telling yourself swing through the ball, just technique stuff basically. Right. But you're again trying not to overthink it. You don't want a million things going through your mind. But then basically like right before you nod, like okay, snap the ball, like you just kind of like everything, make it go away,
Rock and roll.
and just and everybody's like, what about the crowd and all that stuff? I'm like, you don't notice it. I mean, you just go into tunnel vision. The one time I got nervous, it was the very first time I basically started. I was doing kickoffs at home, a home game at K-State, and I was good. Like I was excited, and we had opening kickoff, and I go and I set the ball on the tee, and the place was just packed. It was really loud. It was fun atmosphere, and I'm walking back on the kickoff because you go back a lot further and over a lot further. And as I'm walking back, I look up at the Jumbotron, and it's like me right there. I'm like, shit.
Oh,
that is
my
like
goodness.
literally like that's when it hit me like, man, everybody's watching me like, don't shank this out of bounce. And luckily it went well. And
I almost just threw up hearing that.
I know.
Like I got so sick to my stomach.
Oh gosh, I think
No.
So when you get used to it though.
But when you were when you were struggling and like in that space, was it something fundamentally you were doing, or was it more in your head?
It was fundamentally, eventually it gets into your head, but it usually all started like, I am probably one of the most inflexible kickers there's ever been.
I was actually just thinking about that too, because I'm just thinking of the kickers, like my back hurts thinking about it.
Like I could barely touch like the middle of my shins.
No.
Yeah, I am not flexible.
Interesting. To
What?
think that Mitch Gross, not Mitch, Jeff, picked you
Yeah.
to be a kicker.
Yeah, right.
That should be the first
I
rule.
would have
Got the
thought
Everybody bend
flexibility of
over
a
and see who can
2x4.
touch your toes. Oh my gosh.
So I was,
No.
and I worked like on my flexibility and stuff, and it just never happened.
Tight
I
hammers.
mean, I got a little bit better, but it was still horrible. Like I've never been able to touch my toes
I haven't either.
ever.
I haven't either.
So why are you
Okay.
so surprised with me?
Well, because you're a kicker. I wasn't a kicker.
Yeah. And like how they like.
Oh, I'm being
it's
thrown
like
in
your toe-
categories.
Yes, you
I don't-
are.
Yeah.
Well,
No.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, because
All right.
okay, so I'm gonna assume all librarians are not flexible.
Well, never mind. Stop. Yeah. No. What?
But no, so then it stemmed like because I was so inflexible, and it's such a powerful movement. I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah.
swing your leg really fast, really hard. So usually, like when I really went down a rabbit hole with like a bad time in my career, it basically started with a lower back issue because my hamstrings, they're kind of attached to your lower back, and so it started there. Well, then it just seemed like to spiral. Like I had groin and hip flexor issues, and the smart thing to do would be to like kind of relax from kicking and stuff, but like I just kept kicking more. I was like, I can work through this, and I just progressively kept getting worse and worse. And but then eventually it all kind of healed, and I worked my way back. But it was just so frustrating because you can do it, but when you kick and you're just not getting the outcome that you're expecting, you work so hard to achieve, it's just very frustrating. That's when the mental aspect came into it, and you're just like, at that point I was just like, I don't know what to do. Like this isn't fun at this point. I am terrified I'm going to lose my job, and which I was actually benched for a while, and then I think that's what gave me time to heal. And so then, I mean, it's not like I was kicking the games, but like I just kind of took my time and rehabilitated. And luckily, it's bad to say, but luckily the guy that took my spot had a horrible one game. And so I got my chance back, and I never lost it after that. So it was a very troubling time, but it all started with probably small injuries. It turned into bigger injuries, but then it probably got even worse because of the mental aspect of it.
I love that you called it a job.
That's all I've been thinking. Yes.
Yeah.
You never said position.
Yeah. It was a job. Yeah.
I know. You were right there with me. Yeah, I think completely agree.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's how we looked at it. I mean, that's what I was there. I mean, other than education, that's what I was there to do. That's why I was at K-State.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I had that opportunity. So you have to look at that as a job in my case. A fun job, but it's a job.
Awesome.
Have you ever wanted to coach?
I used to coach. So when I first moved back, I coached freshman football for like an assistant.
Oh, okay.
For a while, but then I stopped. I just kind of gave that up because I loved doing it, but where I'm in the seed business, sales time is during the middle football season. Right. That's when I've got to be out on the road selling. And so I went away from that. Well, then Joel Otterburn coached freshman basketball a couple of years later.
Hey, nope, never mind. Can't say that because we're in August. Never mind. His birthday was last month. Woo!
Act like you've been here.
Yeah.
Anyway,
here we go.
Yep. And we're back.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. We'll just edit that part out.
Yeah.
Which we my non-skills. Anyway.
Yeah. Happy late birthday.
Yeah.
But I coached freshman basketball with him for 7 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
How long have you been back here?
Since 2011.
That's about when I came back.
I'm just thinking of all these freaking athletes that came out of McCook. Like Cherry here, he can play volleyball, he can golf, he can play basketball, clearly, football.
I play golf.
We'll
I didn't say I can golf.
Oh.
Were you in the MCC alumni tournament?
That was back a while ago?
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Nailed it.
Gotta stop. So hot here.
It is hot. Anyway. Water.
Yeah. It's just fun. And
I maybe was.
Okay. Yeah, don't know. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't. I don't know if I was the time yet.
Oh my gosh.
We're going to have you back on. I feel
we're going to find out. Well, we're going to find out if he can hit a softball.
Oh, yeah.
Wait,
what?
Because he didn't get it.
No, I got it.
No,
I nailed the last question.
You know what, though? I think it'd just be fun because, like we just talked about, you are an athlete.
Yes. And it could be for charity.
We should just get, like, all the men that we've had on here.
Yes. They're doing it.
Smalley.
Holtis. Yep.
Cherry.
Uh-huh. Joel's going to be on.
Arterburn.
Mm-hmm.
What's Conroy? I forget his name.
Coach Conroy.
What?
Chris?
Crowell?
Oh, yeah. Crystal?
Yeah. Chris.
That guy.
All with Rachel pitching, so we can make sure she knows that.
Yes.
But we're going to have you back on, Josh. I think you have a whole lot more to tell us.
Yes. This is fun. I'm so happy you guys are doing this because like I've had a lot of conversations in the past about how fun would it be to have a podcast in McCook, somebody to do one.
Oh, yeah.
So you do get to know people.
Yes.
We have so many interesting.
Like listen to the one where you were on here first. Like it was interesting.
Yeah.
Like I know you, but I didn't know you. I feel like I know you a little bit more now.
Yeah.
And now that you're like,
Jake doesn't even know me.
you're like
Who's Jake?
on the show now. You're like,
Yeah.
I was like,
I know.
I was excited. I was like, are you going to be like the Jamie of, Joe Rogan? He has Jamie on there. Do you listen to Joe Rogan much?
No, we're gonna
we're gonna have to because Chris also said that
love Joe Rogan.
Yeah.
Like because when we go to Kansas City a lot, and so it's 6 hours, and those are like 3 hour long podcasts.
Right,
so I throw those on.
Oh God, I don't think I could be in this hot box for 3.5 hours.
Oh
yeah, how does he do that?
I don't know.
We gotta find. We're gonna have
we
to
need
listen. Gotta listen.
Yeah, I think it's all. I was just telling Lena. I said we have so many people in McCook that we can interview first before we ever have to reach out. Like before Lena came on, I'm like, oh, by myself it's kind of hard, but like we can get people outside of McCook, but we have so many interesting people in McCook. Let's do them, and then let's start reaching out to other people.
Yeah.
Well, building a community and digging within, I think, is so fundamental to what will keep like Southwest Nebraska, our area, thriving.
Exactly.
Is appreciating the expertise of the people who have chose to move back and do great things. They could have done it anywhere.
Right.
But they chose to be here.
And the fun part about it, it all has to do with athletics and some base behind it. So
Well, podcasts are just the thing.
they are.
Yeah.
They're taking out. It's so easy to do a podcast. Like
Whoa,
I said,
whoa. What?
I don't know if it's easy.
Okay, wait.
Whoa.
Sorry,
Step
I take that back.
second.
Let
Yes.
me reword it.
I know.
And my Neanderthal thinking.
Amen. I'm glad
It's so easy to listen to a podcast.
So glad you
Yes.
self-recognized.
Yeah.
You know?
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
I don't have to get a book out and read it. You know,
Yeah.
I can
Yes.
just put this on
Yep.
and listen to it, whether I'm traveling, you know, doing things. My wife listens to podcasts daily around the house
Same.
while she's
Yep.
doing
Yeah.
stuff.
Yep.
So podcasts are awesome.
Yeah. Well,
Especially this one.
this one's the best.
Yeah.
It's up there.
Okay.
Hands down.
It's okay.
Let's go.
Okay, so we've got to the part of the fun podcast where we play a fun little game. Lena says. So usually, you know, we'll have some people like send in some stuff, but today we're gonna just have you give Lena 2 scenarios,
Okay.
and you know how this works because you listen. So,
Okay.
and if you need to use somebody else's name, feel free.
Oh yeah, please do.
Yeah.
Use somebody else's name.
So like, Julie was a person that we used last month. She may or may not have been.
Oh, so don't actually use the person's name.
Don't actually.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no.
So don't be like,
gotcha.
We don't need to
oh
be
my
those
gosh.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So
people. Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see.
my wife. Yeah. Don't.
Yeah, no.
My friend's wife.
No.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Conroy
Yeah.
did. No.
Yeah.
Say a guy I know.
All right. Hope we don't know who we're talking about here, but let's just say
All right.
your husband.
If I was married.
Yes.
Okay.
If you were married. All right.
Yep.
Let's pretend you don't have cats. Okay.
Okay.
And let's pretend you're not a big cat fanatic.
Okay.
Okay.
I like
Your
where this is
husband
Okay.
wanted cats.
Got it.
Strictly outdoor, but wanted cats. And
Yes.
you did not. You lost the battle and then ended up with cats
Got it.
out at your place.
Yep.
You do not get along with these cats.
Oh.
You go on about a 4-day vacation,
Oh no.
okay?
This is not sounding good.
And you come back and you open up the hatchback of your vehicle that you left at home,
I don't.
and
I don't like
a
where this is
cat
going.
comes running out. And this cat that used to be really fat is now really skinny. And this cat comes flying out. Lena says,
Oh, beep. Because you know that's in there. This happened for a short stint in my real life. The cat was only in it overnight, but pooped and other things in our vehicle. Oh my gosh. Lena says, what the beep? Like, there's nothing else to say.
There's
No.
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 yeah, yeah.
Like, when you live in the country, though, cats are essential, in my opinion, to
They-
the rodent situation.
I agree.
I'm sorry, but them getting in the house, we had one get in the house one time too. But at least it showed like one place to do all its stuff. You
So-
know? Like, it didn't make a litter box of the whole house. It
Right.
just showed one area, which like it was like a concrete floor. But Lena says, "OB," like I don't know what else to say.
Does Lena sell the hatchback?
Oh, 4 days. You know
In
what?
the heat.
I would hope
The
this
the cat is still alive.
this husband and wife duo. I hope they know someone who owns a car wash.
Just roll the windows down and go through.
Hose it down. Yeah. Oh, that is awful.
Yeah.
Oh, Lena says, I hope that doesn't really ever happen to me. And I'm so sorry it happened to
If
someone
that
else.
ever happened to me,
Yeah,
I would dislike cats even more.
They are essential to farm living, but that is a very unfortunate situation. But it's not the cat's fault. Somebody.
It is. Don't jump in the vehicle when you're
I
not.
don't know why they do that.
Yes.
Even if I'm getting out groceries and I leave it open for 2 seconds, there's always a cat in there. Why?
We have our outside cats, and one
Yes.
jumped in the car, and I got angry, so I grabbed it.
Yes.
Brand new car, like 2 days old, and it latched on to the leather seats
Oh.
as I went to rip it.
No.
Now I got cat claws.
No.
Well, this person was lucky because they had like the WeatherTech floor mats.
Oh.
So you
yeah.
really could just, or they could.
But-
I mean, you
wash
can
it
still the
off.
smell.
Yeah.
There's still
Yep.
something that just lingers.
So this person bought an ozone machine, has been running that in there, and it's getting better. But
Oh.
this person, does
I
not.
do feel bad for them.
I do feel really
Send them
bad
our
for those
condolences.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the cats. Yeah.
I don't want to know what
I'll be
happened to
sure
the
when they're
cats.
sitting on my lap tonight and I'm talking to them about how sweet little things they are.
I'm
No,
just,
just
I'm
the
just so
company.
happy that cat was still alive.
That's all I
it
thought.
could have been way worse for
It
that
could have been.
person.
And then they would have had to go to the Humane Society
Oh,
and get some new
gosh,
cats.
and new
Because you
cats.
can't.
Nope.
Okay.
Do you know how we ended up with those cats?
I do.
Yeah.
But we don't. Yes.
Yeah.
You rehomed them after an unfortunate situation.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's so nice of that
it's
family.
nice. Yes.
Save a life.
Yes. Good people.
We started with 5, we're down to 2.
Oh.
Coyotes.
Been there.
Cats.
Been
Yeah.
there.
They don't last very long at our house.
Our
Either.
house, they go to Maywood to live. They're like, you know what? There's way better stuff in town.
They take a ride.
Oh, I don't know, but they just like, it's
Oh,
like we'll be
you don't know.
driving
Okay.
through Maywood. It's like, oh,
There's Fluffy.
There's Fluff.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
Hanging out
We
in the
see our
trash can.
pancaked on the road or
Oh, gosh.
the coyotes. Okay. Scenario 2.
Yep, scenario 2.
Trying to think.
I mean, that one was traumatic.
That one was really traumatic.
Yeah.
I know. I shouldn't have let off with that.
That was.
That's okay.
I mean, that was a good one.
That one was really good.
Dang it. Okay. Your significant other
I love these.
Yep.
always wants to watch their show.
Oh.
And they have lots of them.
Oh.
Okay? And you can't keep up with them.
Got it.
Now,
Time out before you finish. Let me just keep thinking. I think this person that I feel like I know. I think their significant other likes Outlander.
oh yeah.
Well, that's different.
Okay,
they do.
Yeah.
they do.
They're obsessed with
That
cheese.
shouldn't be a
Same.
they. That should be a we show. I'm sorry. You need to be watching Outlander
Yeah.
together.
I don't know. Yeah. So does that person? Do they watch that show with their
Outlander?
significant other?
Yeah.
Does not miss an episode.
I can understand.
Cannot wait for the whole new season.
Nope.
Blows
Yep.
right through them.
Yep.
Yeah.
Had to
Oh,
call, I started calling her Sassenach.
With the right accent. Yeah, I could do it.
Trying to
Then
win
you-
some brownie points,
then
like
you
dragging a dead deer across the yard. Like, ugh, supper, baby.
Shut off the lights and head to bed. You watch that right before nighttime. Well, these people, I mean, yeah, this sounds... Okay, continue. I'm so
continue.
sorry.
So sorry. I just had to
yikes.
think of that.
Yeah.
Okay, so this person always wants to watch their
Her
shows.
shows.
Get
Yep.
yours from time to time, but they have so many, got to keep up with
Yes. Yeah.
them. Now, they watch them a lot of times when you're not around. Okay, so let's say you've missed 5 episodes,
Oh,
and
yeah.
they're like,
Yep.
don't worry. I'll give you a 2-minute rundown of what
No.
happened.
No.
Lena says,
No, you don't cheat on shows.
no.
You pick one show. You can't... You're not going to be able to keep with all 7. Whoever this person is. They have a lot of... No. You pick one. You watch together always. No cheating.
Thank you.
You cannot cheat. But it can only be one. You can't do that with 7 shows.
No.
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 And
way.
then you have to have your own shows. You just do like your treadmill.
Right.
You do your own thing. And then you have your right before bed show. Whatever that show
Whatever
may be.
show that
If
might
it
be.
is Outlander, that's fantastic.
I just don't know. Kudos to those couples that can watch Outlander with their significant other.
Hello.
Yeah. Not
Yes.
this one. No.
I don't get that.
Yeah. I just. Ooh.
Sitting there
Just-
watching it, and she's over there like fanning herself.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah, that's
gosh.
what you need.
Yes.
Like,
Then
it's 64 in our house. What are you?
I can understand.
I completely get where this significant.
Somebody
other's coming
commented to
from.
me like, I haven't heard of any of these shows you guys talk about, and I'm like, what?
Where?
Yes,
Yeah.
Outlander. Yeah, no,
Uh-huh.
you can't cheat.
Did you
gotta
guys
pick
get
one
into
show.
Ozark?
Yes.
Yes.
So sad and depressing.
Yeah.
That show I can't do those shows.
Love that show.
Yeah.
What's that? Breaking Bad also?
Yeah.
Wah,
I haven't watched
wah.
Breaking
Like
Bad.
it made me so sad.
Yeah.
Why does Ozark make you sad? Oh, have you seen everything?
Yes.
Okay.
It's just depressing. It's like, I mean, even the scenes are so dark and so sad, and then the kids hate their parents, and that's just like, it's just downward spiral.
I just love like
No.
you can cut the tension with a knife.
Oh yeah. No.
Like Bloodline. You ever watch Bloodline?
Yes.
Oh, I
Love
haven't watched
Bloodline.
And that one was a little better.
I was just a little upset with the ending there.
Yeah, it was weak, but yeah, I don't know. Outlander though, everyone should be happy
Oh
watching
my!
that show.
Everybody should
Yes.
be watching that show.
Yep. Oh, have you watched? What was the one I told you to watch?
Yeah, with the hot guy.
Yeah.
Peaky Blinders.
Peaky Blinders.
Now,
Oh.
And that's a
okay.
show you should be able to
I
watch.
think.
too.
Well, are they like Irish in that or something?
Yes.
The
Yeah.
first 2 are terrible. Like it's
I
hard
tried,
to stay.
and
I
I've
know.
never felt so old in my life because I'm like, I can't understand what they're saying.
Yes. The first
See,
few.
I don't watch- I
I
haven't
think they
watched
try
it
a
yet.
little too hard on the accent, and then that tapers off.
Same with like, I mean, not so much Outlander, but my wife what's it called? Downtown
Downtown
Abbey? Downtown Abbey?
Very good.
It's downtown.
Downtown, something like that.
Yeah,
Okay.
Abbey.
Didn't know that.
That's also a
Like-
really good one.
I'm the guy now that has to sit there and watch like the subtitles. I'm like,
We have to have the captions on always.
Oh my gosh, I need to watch Peaky Blinders.
Yes.
Gotta finish my other show first. So,
Anyway.
thanks, Josh, for coming. So
Thank
we
you.
always we ask fun questions at the end.
okay,
We already know your one answer,
Mm-hmm.
so make sure you talk to him.
Brandon, I'm coming for you.
Yes.
And so what are you currently watching with your significant other?
Well, I mean, I just finished Ozark just the other night.
Mhm.
Okay. She's been watching this show called Revenge.
Yes.
What? Lena,
It's
how much?
so good.
You watched so much.
Yeah, but I watched that
Revenge?
forever ago because it was on like NBC or ABC or something.
What's
And
that?
I don't know what.
About a bunch of rich families that they live in the Hamptons,
I was talking
and
about
it's
ABC
drama
and
filled.
NBC.
I don't know. I
It's
just kind of
good.
I watch it because I get back scratches.
Yeah.
You know.
Jake and I watched that together for a long time. And then it got like it's like nighttime. What are they? Daytime shows, like
Okay.
soap operas,
Right,
like a
yeah.
nighttime soap.
Yeah,
opera. Like,
it's awful
somebody
soapy.
dies. Yes,
It's
somebody
awful
dies
soapy.
in every episode, but it is good. It starts
Okay.
out really good.
Okay.
Then it gets to be like, okay, somebody dies. Like 3 people die an episode, kind of thing.
I mean, but does anybody ever really actually stop watching The Office?
No, you can't. She has not gone into
I'm
the
just-
office.
What?
I'm just gonna be over here.
It's terrible.
Season 3, episode 21, the best opening scene ever.
You want to talk about comedy?
Season 3
Yeah,
episode.
they just can't make shows like that anymore.
They cannot. Oh, first, it is so wrong in so many ways, but it's so right in all the right ways.
I absolutely love it.
It's a lawsuit waiting to happen
I'm
if
just
it is
keeping notes
ever
over
really
here.
happening in the workplace. But it's so amazing. If we could go back to that, there would be so much more love in the world.
Oh
if
my
we could
gosh.
all make fun of each other and say things that are so wrong and
can't-
such an HR nightmare, life would be so much better.
You can't do that.
No, you can't. People get very sensitive to things.
So you truly never really watched this show.
I tried to.
No, you're going to
dabble.
try again.
You got to start from the beginning
Yes.
and
I
just
know.
progress through it.
And you have to stick through, like, you have to stay through season 1.
Yeah.
Okay. It's the
And then
So I was
season
like,
1 is
Like you're
it's
robbing
hard.
yourself if you're not
Yeah,
giving
no.
like all the way to season 3 a chance. Like,
And
that-
you
Okay.
cannot be offended. You can just say, this is all for the sake of comedy. This is
Okay,
all for the sake
okay,
of good
got it,
laughs.
got it.
It's wrong, but we're laughing in the right way.
okay.
I bet you I have watched. I know I'm not gonna lie. Like I always start from the beginning.
Yep,
You know.
yep.
And when Michael leaves,
I know, it's hard.
I just kind of lose interest, so I just
same.
start back over.
Yep.
You know.
Jake and I did the exact same thing. It ran on Netflix, and we literally had to start it again because they said the date it was going to end. And we're like, we cannot not continue.
Yeah.
And so we would start over. It's so good.
Okay.
But then
I'll put it on my list.
I'm a Yellowstone guy.
Oh,
Another
Love
show.
Yellowstone.
Gosh,
What?
I feel like I'm not in this conversation right now.
when we were at Nebraska Land Days so long time ago, everyone was wearing the 1883 hats, and I was like, "What liquor was made in 1883?" I don't get it because that's like the prequel to Yellowstone.
You go and get your books.
Yep.
1983.
Yeah, I do. Yes,
Okay.
So-
I'll put that also
in
on my list.
1883. Yeah.
But November, season 5's coming.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited.
And I'm sorry, but if anybody says they don't want to be like Rip, they're lying.
They are lying.
Yep.
The
Hands
only
down.
reason people watch it is Rip.
Absolutely.
I've seen
Gosh.
his memes. He's good looking.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of looks like Clay.
And Jake.
Together.
What's
Combined.
South Tanner.
Yeah. With Jake's height.
See, he is in one of my favorite movies I've ever
Oh,
watched
I think I've known
of all
it.
times.
Go ahead.
Dazed and Confused.
Oh. Yeah. Oh, he was good in that. It's not my favorite movie.
He didn't have a big role, but when
Yeah,
I
yeah,
first saw him in Yellowstone, I was like, I've seen this guy
Yes.
somewhere.
This is him.
He was in a military show that I really liked that he was quite handsome in as well.
What other fun questions should we ask Jake? Jake.
Well,
Josh.
we don't need to bring up those here.
So, yeah.
That's
Yeah.
just weird.
Josh,
But-
people relieve.
You mentioned one. Oh, what's the nicest thing you've ever bought your wife?
Oh, good question.
Thank you.
Good question.
Man.
Everyone take note.
Unless it's
I have a
terrible.
feeling this is going to be really good.
I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like sometimes I nail it, but a lot of times I'm like, hey, so it's in the mail. I ordered it this morning.
Yeah.
You know, I'm
Happy
always a last
anniversary.
minute orderer kind of guy.
Yeah.
And then I'm freaking out because I'm like, what do I get her? What do I get her?
Yeah.
Based on the way he's dressed today, I think he just kind of wings it sometimes. Like,
feel
no
like-
offense.
I was
I'm
just waiting
saying-
for
yeah.
him to say, 2 beautiful children.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, how do you top that?
He didn't buy
Right.
those, though. That was a hip thrust
Yeah.
kind of gift.
Oh, God. Okay.
Like I tell her, I go, what can I get you when you come home to this snack every night?
Echo! What did you purchase
Yeah.
with a credit card or cash for your wife?
Well, it's so hard to shop for her because she, like I said, Amazon's there every day. If she has interest in something, like I just tell her, I'm like, go get it. You know, like, and then this is rollover points for birthdays.
Oh.
You know, and like we've come to the point where now where it's like Christmas, it's like don't get each other something. Let's just get the kids stuff.
Right.
You know, let's you know, we don't need anything else. Like,
Right.
you know, I'm very simple guy. You know, t-shirt, jeans. Like I did buy new jeans. Oh, look at those.
You did? Oh,
babies.
those are nice.
Yeah,
Good job.
$15 at Walmart.
Excellent.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah. Yep. I haven't bought jeans or clothes for myself in years. So.
Nothing wrong with that.
But I don't know. Kind of forget the stuff I bought her.
But you also have a new house, right? Did you just move in? Did you have
For a couple of years now we've lived there.
Okay.
Um
So that's a big.
so there I let her choose everything, like how the house was going to be
Yeah.
done for the most part. Never ever want to do anything like that again though. Like a renovation on a house.
Oh, you renovated. You didn't build.
We bought a house, we completely gutted it, we added on to it. We had to live in the cobblestone for 6 weeks because our other house sold. And then because we lived with my parents for a little bit, and then we're like, well, that's enough of that. Like, you know, the kids didn't want to go to sleep at night because they're at grandma and grandpa's, and like you just kind of want your own space.
Right.
And so we're like, all right, we gotta have our own alone time. I mean, even though like we're in the basement and everything, it's just you're still there, you know. And so we're like, let's go to the cobblestone. So we lived there for like 6 weeks, and then we finally moved into our house. Like it wasn't even close to being done. Like we didn't have any sinks in the whole house because everything was undermount, and we had to wait on all of our countertops to get in. And so we did our dishes out in the garden hose every night.
Stop
Yeah,
Camping.
talking.
yeah, it was.
Yeah, I would have lived. I mean, I lived with my parents for 18 months, conceived 2 children in their basement while we built a house. Not weird at all.
What?
Yes.
No listeners needed to hear that.
Did you sneak out at night too?
Nope.
gosh.
All in the basement.
I just remember.
Oh, did I? Yeah, like the old days. No.
I just remember seeing a Snapchat. I don't know if it was a Snapchat or something when you guys finally got your cupboards in, and I think Bram did some really good art.
So we were sitting on the couch. Chris and I were hanging out. We just had Bram at this time, and we're laying on the couch. Chris and I were just sitting there, kind of talking, and then like you know, as a parent, when you look at each other, you're like, it's too quiet. Like, what's he doing?
Yeah.
So we both like shoot up and look over the couch, and he had just all over our brand new white cupboards taken black Sharpie, and just everywhere. And we're like, no.
And not just like on one cupboard.
Yeah.
It was like Picasso on.
all over the whole
Yeah.
lowers, and you're just like, oh no. And so we get up and we try all this cleaning solution, everything. I mean, these things had been in for like 2 days.
Oh, sweet heavens.
Yeah.
And we are cleaning it with any cleaner that we can think of, and it's not coming off at all. And so they sent us, the cupboard company sent us this white marker, and I was like, well, maybe I can just trace everything he did and cover it up. So I started tracing everything. I'm like, this looks worse. So then I go take a rag to like wipe off what I just put on there, and it completely took off the Sharpie, everything.
Oh.
Not even one trace that it was there.
That is amazing.
The only place I didn't take it off, which I'm fine with, is on the inside of the cupboards, because now I can leave those there and it's a fun story.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, it came off hassle-free once you just colored it in. So we lucked out.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Thank
So now we
the-
keep the Sharpies somewhere else.
Thank
Yes.
the good Lords above.
Yeah.
Every time our kids get a Sharpie, they brand, quote unquote, all animals in the house.
Oh, like their little
like
play
their little
animals?
play
The Circle K brand?
Oh
Or-
yeah. Yeah. I mean, oh my gosh, everything has got Sharpie marker on it. With a
I
brand.
took a jar, like a giant Sharpie, in our dining room at the time was wallpapered, and I was obsessed with Zorro, and I did Z's everywhere. Every one of them was backwards. Like, it was, like, I've never seen my mom so mad in my life.
And she still loved you after that.
Yes, she did. It took
What
a while.
Sweet,
It
sweet
was
lady.
all backwards.
All my Z's were backwards. Every single, I don't want to admit how old I was.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't know if I was like ambidextrous and used the wrong hand. I don't know what happened, but it was not good. awful. Yeah. They were everywhere.
Well, thanks, Josh, for coming on today.
Thank you so
for
much.
having me.
I feel like we got some really good stuff out of you.
This was fantastic.
We'll have to bring you back, and you can tell us about how the new business is going.
Yes.
We should go shopping down there.
We could do that.
We could do that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious. There's just a lot of unknowns. I'm excited to see. It's going to be fun. You know, that's the biggest thing. We had the space, so we're like, let's try it.
Yeah,
you know, I think it's going to be something good for McCook.
And thank you so much for the drinks. We're on a roll.
Yeah.
Conroy and Sherry understand the caffeine part.
Yes, they get
podcast.
it.
Yeah.
They get it. Yeah.
Got to take care of our girls.
Aww. Thanks. All right. Well, thanks for everybody for listening in on another episode of Coaching Caffeine and Comedy. And I'm your host, Haley Kotza.
And I'm Lena.